now a big go sign. Now we're live.
All right, so yeah,
Okay,
okay.
and
so,
that's how we got into the NSA. That was awesome. So,
Oh my god, that's so crazy. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew donut dough was that stretchy? Just no way.
Yeah.
Let us know when we go live, Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, man, I got some jerky here.
so-
Few
No,
minutes,
I don't
just a
want to
few
eat it on
minutes.
camera. Dang it.
I don't. Not all of the news crew is here when we did an article about chicken wings. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
did. You ever hear
I
about?
remember that one. Yep.
There was a lady who stole like I think it was around
think
$6
Tim was
million
there.
dollars worth of wings.
Millions!
Yeah.
Of chicken
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah, so I don't have a follow up, but I have kind of a like side note for another chicken wing related article that I did want to talk about. It's not in there. Ryan will bring it up right now.
I've got it. Hold
So-
on.
I saw it when I was
share the link.
adding my name to the host list. I'm like, that's gonna be a fun one.
So a while ago, a court in Ohio actually ruled that boneless chicken wings don't have to be boneless. And now their Supreme Court just upheld that in a 4-3 vote. So I want you guys to know if you're ever eating boneless chicken wings in Ohio, they may have bones.
That doesn't
Yeah,
even make
because the guy
sense.
choked, he got a bone in it and he choked. And the lawsuit was over. It's like, well, you said there was no bones in it, and they're like, well, we all know there should
Okay.
be. And I'm like, it's in the name.
Right?
So-
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
less
I also want to know.
bone free.
I want to know if the boneless chicken wings do not have to contain chicken.
Oh, yeah. Then they're just bone.
Right? Like if the whole thing is
they're all just
general
less.
suggestion. Well, yeah,
That's going to be a new lawsuit.
You know, there's
Yeah.
pork in there, right? And you
That
got people
always-
who can't eat pork, and you can screw them over.
It always throws me when like McDonald's has like the McCrispy. Like the term chicken is not used at all in the name of the sandwich, or it's just like the McCrispy or the McRib. Like it's not a chicken sandwich. It's a McCrispy. Like good luck.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
isn't why-
you can't expect ribs to be in the McRib. Like it's just
No,
just meat.
no,
There's no ribs in it at all. So that set precedent, I guess. I wonder if they cited that.
Just nasty.
I
you
was
say?
okay with it.
What's nasty?
McRib sandwich. It's just nasty.
Not a fan.
I don't-
Nope.
Taking a
I'm
stand
like-
on the McRib. I like it.
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's, and we loved some McRibs. That sauce would end up everywhere in the back of that McDonald's because you take those boneless chicken or whatever, and you throw it in the little vat. It's pork or something, I'm sure, right? And it would sit there in the barbecue sauce like all day, and then you slap them in, you slap them out, and it was
And that's why they were so good.
blood splatter of this terrible barbecue sauce that was just everywhere. Crime
That's
scene.
great. I love them.
The tip I heard is that if you're in the Midwest and you're craving a McRib, go to Quick Trip. They have rib sandwiches that are much better.
Quick Trip's really good. Now,
Yeah.
I tell you my love for the McRib because I grew up in the Midwest and we did not have good barbecue.
Yeah.
Brace yourself.
Coming around.
Office here.
Oh my God.
Coming in hot.
This is truly a unicorn episode.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, how's it going? I thought I'd come for the final show because getting on the plane going to Australia to see the family on Friday. So
Wait, is today the final show? We're not doing a show next week?
Nope.
No, we're
Or-
BHIS holiday next week and the week
What?
after.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm not on that calendar, so good to know.
No, Friday's our last day of official business.
As a blue
Or-
teammer, I don't get those days off, you know, just you red team.
You can come do the
people,
panel
like-
on Friday with us.
I will,
We'll be
and I
up and
will.
operating.
I'll join.
it's freaking cold up here in North Carolina. I'm done. I'm going to go to Australia. Hey.
Up here in North Carolina, then I'm like Wisconsin, so it's like, oh yeah, this is worse. And then I have relatives out in North Dakota, and they beat me for the
Yeah, that's in the
Lot of cold.
inhumane living parts of the country.
oh yeah.
So the weird part is, like, I want to go to Australia or someplace anywhere in the South Hemisphere, but it weirds me out to have Christmas and it be like
Hot.
a hot time of the year. Like if you live at the equator and it's always hot, that doesn't mean anything, right?
You know, Tim, it weirded me out for years growing up in Adelaide, right? I grew up in Australia, South Australia, and it was, it's a desert state. It's always dry as can be. It never rains. And then I finally had my first Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere, And it was like a light bulb went on because I was like, "Oh my god, all these traditions make sense now."
Yeah. How do you feel about every like Christmas movie just being like snow and cold, right? Like, why isn't there any summer Christmas movies out there? I feel like this is a market. It needs
and
to
the
be
huge, giant, heavy Christmas dinner. You're like, can I just get something really light?
Yeah. Because I bet you when I sit down, I'm going to a Christmas Eve dinner with my mother, with my dad. I'll be at a big Christmas dinner. I bet you when I sit down to those meals, it's going to be like this giant meal, and it will be 115 degrees outside. It's like, yeah, it's a lot.
rough. Oh, we're almost full.
We are.
Oh, look,
I
Kelly
can-
Crinkle's here.
I cannot host, so someone else
Yeah,
will
you
have
gotta-
to host
you gotta
because
leave
I
early.
have to peace out. Like,
Wait, where's Strand? Isn't he coming in to host? Who's supposed to? Don't put me on the spot. I'm not ready to host.
you're not. Well, I guess you or Bronwyn. Or,
I've
no,
never
Kelly can host.
hosted.
Kelly would be a great host. I don't know why
You
she
could
has to
host. You want to
Look,
host?
I'll host if I have to. Where's the agenda for today, Ryan? Are we getting
There, have you never done
We
the
have an
news?
agenda?
There's
All
no
right, we need to,
agenda.
I vote Joff off the island. Just saying. I'm not even one of you Black Hills folks, but clearly.
How dare he request an agenda? This is straight blasphemy.
He's been in too many meetings today.
That's like saying the S word.
I'm looking at this.
We don't say
notion
here.
here.
Oh, here he is. Okay,
No.
cool.
Come on, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
I'm gonna try to
Now,
look
did
at
you
this
say his
notion
name
here.
one time or 3 times?
Only once. It was. I said S word, but he didn't come.
All it takes
Hey
is
Ryan,
not
it wouldn't give
recording
me
as
access
you
to
go
the page.
once.
Give me access, man.
Okay.
Well,
I thought we
let's,
did that before, but
let's-
do it.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room real quick. We lost, guys. We
Who
lost.
Woo,
we
lost.
woo. Yeah.
We
Oh,
won.
John's
We
the
were
main host now.
live,
Who did
so-
win? Did Jerry win?
Jerry did win. Jerry did win.
Then we won.
Wait, what was the
We were-
competition?
That's so awesome. Congratulations,
Yeah,
dude.
thank you to all of Black Hills Information Security for voting for us and the Simply Cyber community. We were the 2024 SANS Difference Maker Awards Podcast of the Year award winner,
Nice.
awarded last night. Thank you very much.
That's so good.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Woohoo.
Wow.
That was fun. Thanks.
Definitely very well deserved as well. You know, all joking aside.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
Hey, John Strand, I told you I'd come along more often. This is my more often before
This is the more often. And we got Tim is on too. So
Tim's
yeah,
here.
good. See, Tim, we need to do this on Monday and your thing on Wednesday, right? You know, the Wednesday.
Heck yeah,
offensive.
we had Chris last week.
Cool.
Speaking of, if any of you guys want to be on, we'd love to have any and or all of you.
Seeing as I'm going to be like packing a suitcase to go way far south and won't be thinking about much else, I'll come along.
We'll get you. We'll get you scheduled. We'll get you a scheduling link.
I don't know what it is, but I'll go. I just show up at all these weird things and
Wait, I'll send you an invite.
all right.
Pick a topic. Easiest presentation you've ever done. Not to,
I got to do a presentation.
Presentation.
Maybe not.
It's the
Yeah,
poll of
careful what you
one.
just sign up for.
Oh,
So
no,
here's how it is to work at In-N-Out Burger. That'd be a presentation I could give any day.
when there's work to be done. Crap.
Wait, puts the animal in animal style.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This is a huge In-N-Out name tag right there. It's a wumbo. You can't barely read if I turn all the lights off. It's like goes like that. Spent probably I did the hours. I think I spent over like 12,000 hours inside of an In-N-Out.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
I had to throw the coat and shit off the keyboard because I want to look more musical. Just wanted to point.
Ah,
So actually, I've actually been doing that. Me and John Bevers in Poland, we've got a little thing going on where we're sending tracks to each other now. So I'm gonna try to get on a John Bevers track. So
Nice.
You got to send him a track of you just doing the chord progression of Pachelbel and be like, dude, I think this is a hit.
that'd be awesome. Let me Google that real quick.
I love that.
Pachelbel canon in D.
Yes.
So
That would be actually no. We'll do that as like this funky modulated like Moog synth lead track as in Canon and D.
okay. Now, more importantly, Joff, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this.
And now is the time.
Yeah, I think now is the time. Hold on, I got to see if I can find this so we can share it.
Oh my.
All right. Crap. Oh.
It wasn't anything to do with that time we got on that ride in Costa Rica.
So, Billy Joel had a band. It's a heavy metal organ band.
He did?
Yes.
Oh
The
my.
name of the band is Attila. All right.
Okay.
So this, let me see if I can find it. I actually think it's pretty good. The entire album is out on YouTube. Okay.
Oh my God. And I thought you were full of shit, but it's really here.
No. I'm going to share the link and people can share this out. So Attila is a band with him and a drummer. All right. So it's just him and the drummer.
Yeah.
And it's heavy metal organ. You look at the picture and it's them in like barbarian costumes surrounded by raw meat, right? Like it's pretty fabulous.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
But the wife of the drummer was the lady that he wrote More Than a Woman to Me, Uptown Girl, all of his hit songs, like in his early career, who he eventually married. She that's what drove the band apart. She divorced the drummer because he stole the drummer's girl. That just the first time that's ever happened, right? Like it always goes the other direction where the drummer steals the girl. But you've got to listen to it because, he's trying to do a whole heavy metal and it sounds kind of like a Deep Purple type vibe to it.
Yeah.
Damn, if some of the stuff ain't catchy, like super catchy.
Wow.
And apparently if you do an interview with Billy Joel, you're not allowed, or at least for a period of time, you were not allowed to mention Attila.
So now that's a second radically interesting thing that I know about Billy Joel. The first one that I knew that was a more of a personal thing was my cousin Dave. Wait, everybody say hi to Dave. He's
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Dave lives in Seattle, and Dave bought
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave bought himself a boat, and when I went to visit Dave in Seattle, he showed me the boat, and the boat's a very, very nice boat. I said, Dave, where'd you buy this boat from? He goes, I bought it from Billy Joel.
Oh my God.
And he wasn't kidding.
That's so awesome. So there's the connections to Billy Joel.
The connections.
So are we ready to kick this off?
I think we are.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Black Hills Information Security and Red Siege, apparently. Talking about news today, December 16th. We got a number of stories. We got a $50 million heist blamed on North Korea. Krispy Kreme donuts are hacked, which sucks because Krispy Kreme is awful and it's still a thing. Europol announces a takedown of major DDoS network. And police shut down the Rydex cybercrime market, which is weird because I didn't know they were touring together again. But we have a number of people that are here and joining us for this. We also have Jerry. Jerry, show us the key, man. The key. This, Jerry, is the key to the internet.
That's right.
Welcome to the party. The elders
Nice.
bestowed this upon me. This is the 2024 Podcast of the Year, Sans Award. We brought it home last night.
Did Stephen Hawking DeGoss it?
I'm sorry, what?
Did Stephen Hawking DeGoss it?
Yes, yeah. No, it was good. It was a tight competition. A lot of great finalists, including this show itself, Black Hills InfoSec Talkin' News. But yeah, we were able to narrowly pull it off. My wife was there. Ryan and Ralph were in the audience. We spent some time together, and definitely appreciate it. And thank you to Black Hills and really everybody who's tuning into this show right now is probably voted and part of the community. So it's absolutely a team win. It's cool. It's cool to see that we're making an impact. Honestly,
Yeah.
We're gonna call him Jerry the Keymaster, or
Are you the key master? I'm the gatekeeper. And now this is awkward. So, all right, Corey, did you get your mic working? So Corey's just
He's
gonna
on mute.
mime the whole thing from here on out. So turn him up. He wants us to turn him up. Turn him up.
It's my
He's gonna
favorite,
leave.
Corey.
He's gonna leave and go mountain biking. He's gonna go up the mountain and ski. He is done. That's it. He's
Just
now
leave the camera
fired-
on and just go.
He's now fired with a.
You should see a cat pretty soon.
Dave.
All right. So, do we want to jump straight into the $50 million Radiant heist blamed on North Korean hackers?
that sounds brilliant to me.
Oh my gosh, it sounds radiant. Let me close this out. So, this happened, I guess, on October 16th after 3 developers got infected with malware, and it was used to sign fraudulent transactions, multi-signature, and they say an emissions adjustment process. But yeah, $50 million from core markets. We had North Korea. I kind of want to throw this out there. Is North Korea like getting this legit, or do you think that they're just hitting lots of low-hanging fruit? Or are they working with other organized crime syndicates to do their dirty work for them? Like, we're talking about hackers from North Korea. That network has got to be like the most monitored and intercepted, packet captured, intercepted, like network link on from like a dial-up perspective in the world, right?
Okay.
So, oh, there's a cat. We got a kitty.
Well, you got to remember that you know they're coming from Russia anyway, because most of them are over there right now. First of all.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, they're.
Oh.
Well, and
Oh,
why
that's
does
awful.
it have to be just one? Why can't it be all of the above? You know.
Well, but
you've got-
they attribute it directly to North Korea, right? I that's one of the things that's interesting. I know that a lot of the different attacks, like, you know, working with law enforcement and DoD, whenever they're like, yes, this was North Korea, it's usually because our groups were watching them as they were launching the attack because we're on their network, which I always think is kind of interesting.
Right. I mean, they've got a /20, I think, if I've looked it up. I mean, their allocation in V4 is this big, right?
Well, the North Korea thing, it amazes me because it's traditionally, I mean, skipping them, but your nation state actor and your cybercrime actor have very different goals. Where your nation state's super advanced, your crime syndicate's pretty advanced, but they're trying to steal money. But now when you get this nexus, this combination of we have tons of capabilities and we're trying to steal money, it's just as bad as it is to say, it's a thing to behold.
It's definitely getting there too, right? And to think about Russia as well, because you could almost classify a lot of the Russian ransomware operators pretty much nation state actors because Russia just lets them go free game. And it seems that Russia doesn't get ransomed that often either. So at least we don't hear about it. I would say almost
Well, what's
all the
value
top
of a ruble? Way?
Yeah,
What's the value
yeah,
of
that's
a
true
ruble?
too.
That's why
Roblox is more than a Rugal.
Yeah, we're quickly having the point where Russia's becoming a barter society. It's hard to ransomware a barter society. I want 42 goats sent to this address. So
it has 4 IPv4 subnets. I was wrong. It's only actually equivalent to a /22.
No
that's
way.
really not
Seriously?
much.
That's
crazy.
BPRK's allocation.
Yeah, I mean, for this one of the things that I noticed both in the original article and in the postmortem are the things that are missing whenever you hear, like, developers got compromised, is that it doesn't say whether it was their corporate device or personal device. And even in the postmortem, they're like, they were the multiple devices, at least 3, maybe more. They don't know how many more were compromised, and they don't know how they were compromised either, which really does kind of point to, these may have been personal devices that had critical credentials on them. And I bring that up because we're just seeing that more and more with developers getting compromised off of personal devices.
Another interesting point of this is, has anyone ever heard of Radiant Capital, or am I just crazy? Because I'd never
I
heard
haven't.
of them.
Up until this,
You're just
I have
crazy.
not heard of-
Okay, all right, I'm just crazy.
Wait.
I-
We have an and.
Is a given.
You say we have and you're just crazy? Is that?
And I'm yeah,
both.
that's true too,
Could be
right? The
both.
mustache is really the sane one out of the pair of us.
It is.
But
It is.
I think these tiny fintech companies, right? This is like a second one we've seen get attacked recently. Finstra was also hit, which we did talk about. But this is the scary part. They're kind of a gold mine because they're moving around tons of money. They're usually not as big as, say, like your big name banking or even I would say some like cryptocurrencies, but they hold tons of money and usually you can easily transfer it out and they're easy money. I would think they're going to start targeted more, especially after 2 in a row now.
Yeah. Wow.
Hard disagree with everything I didn't hear.
Good. And,
Thanks, Dave.
and this sucks because I'm just distracted by the kitty on your shoulder, and I want.
Listen,
look at him.
This
look
is
at him. Oh
this
my
is
God,
how
he's
you get
adorable.
engagement on the internet. Okay,
He's
you
like
just
that.
bring cats and you
Hi.
have them on your shoulder.
Hi, Corey. She's like, can you die so I can eat you? Because that's what all cats think.
Ever since I met Corey, ever since I met Corey, I just keep thinking I've been doing my whole life wrong. I mean, that's what Corey has taught me.
Yeah, he's teaching you how your life could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need any cats, just let me know.
I actually might need some cats here shortly.
So, I mean, what's even happened in the internet? Like, North
Oh.
Korea, I'm here for it.
You missed the chicken news.
Yeah, we were talking
really
about
upset.
Russia.
Wait, there's a follow-up
North
to chicken
Korea.
news? Is it chicken wing related?
We're getting to
It is.
chicken wing news. We will get to that. Here
Oh
in
my
just a
God.
little bit.
I'm so ready.
So the next story that I want to talk about, if it's okay, is, and I hate this going into politics, but I think that there's a lot to talk about. But Trump administration wants to go on cyber offensive against China.
Ugh.
Are they going to sell
What does
pay-per-view
that
tickets?
mean?
I mean,
Normally, I try to avoid these types of stories, right? But Margaret Brennan said, we have been over the years trying to play better and better defense when it comes to cyber. We need to start going on our offense and start imposing, I think, higher costs and consequences to private sector and nation state attackers. And God damn, if that doesn't make some sense, but it's also insane.
What's
And
one of those things?
I want to start out with kind of my hot take, I guess, because that's privileges. But so I agree with the sentiment of we need to impose a higher cost, but I think it's incredibly short-sighted to think that the United States is not being offensive. And this gets back to Tim. I want to get your opinion on this here in just a second. To say that the United States is not on the offensive is not right. It's not true at all. And what I mean by that is the United States is on the offense, but we aren't doing offense in China and offense in Russia from the perspective of trying to create chaos in their networks. We're there to observe, right? We have the NSA, of course, and also CIA to a lesser extent, but they're in these networks. They've compromised these networks, and their goal and objective is to dwell for as long as possible. And if they want to create an impact, be ready to do so. But the goal is not just to go in and start taking over Chinese networks and then doing ransomware. That's just not what the U.S.
Maybe says you. You don't know that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
As Corey and I stand up a anti-Chinese APT group right now.
Yeah. There you
Yeah. Listen,
I'm completely with you, John. I think you're saying the quiet part out loud, and there's no benefit to it. Like, we all know this is happening. We just don't talk about it, and now we're talking about it, and now it changes the game.
well, hold
I
on.
don't
Do
see
we know
the
what's
upside for
happening?
saying the quiet part out loud.
Do we know what's happening? Like, is there any public sources that say it's? Because I will say, like,
Corey,
to draw.
I will be a public source. Yes, it's happening.
Yeah.
but not to the same level. Like Wade brought it up of like, we know Russia basically has ransomware as a service running against U.S. companies all the time, which has a huge impact to like U.S. businesses. Not really political, but still kind of a nation state on nation state thing, just done indirectly. Maybe he's
It's like a
talking
side
about
hustle.
that. Not that like I don't know what businesses you would go after in Russia necessarily, but I don't know. I guess I'm curious to see. I mean, with China specifically, though, I don't think there's so much so many companies, I guess, that could go after. Space Force can go after, or whoever he's going to have do this.
Whoever's going to have do it. So
The difference is though, like with like China, because there's everything's run by the state. If they get the information, they give it to one of their companies, and they're both better off. Where if the U.S. gets some sort of tactical information, cool stuff, here's how to make a better iPhone, making stuff up here. Like there's no good way to hand that off, whereas China's got that. So
they do and they don't, Tim. Like one of the problems with Chinese, whenever we're talking about Chinese hackers, is a lot of the different regions, political factions within China have their own hacking groups, right? Yeah. And a lot of times their goals and objectives are different from each other. And it's kind of unfortunate because like whenever you're in like the IC community, right? And DoD is different. I can talk about that. But what sucks about the intelligence community is the different ints and the different towers, they all treat each other as hostile. So anything the NSA collects or the NRO collects and then hands it over to the NSA or they hand it over to the CIA, a lot of that classified information gets completely siloed and locked off. And this is one of those things that sucks deeply about the way the United States intelligence apparatus works, because they're like, well, we're getting all of these SIGINTs, we're getting HUMINTs, we're getting OSINT from various very obscure sources. And then it just tends to stay in those silos, right? And it doesn't make its way over to DOD, to the troops that are downrange. It doesn't make it to the people that are operatives in the CIA and actually doing actual spying things. And you have this hoarding that happens with the CIA and the NSA in particular, those two, where they just hoard a shit ton of data. And a lot of times they don't want that data to go to another agency that maybe has the exact same level clearances or higher, because they're afraid that once that source or once that data is acted upon, then that source is removed. And that is something that's been kind of endemic in the United States intelligence apparatus for a really, really long time. So what you end up with is you end up with all of these different hacking operations that are going in the NSA and the CIA in particular. And they're doing all of this stuff, but the data doesn't ever get shared. It never gets acted upon. And China has that same problem kind of, but usually the regions and the different groups, they're actually doing a full chain, right? Where they're doing the attacking and they have a specific goal and objective that they're working towards. And a lot of times it becomes a competition with different political factions. And Jerry brought up 9/11 intel sharing. Absolutely. The name of the program that was basically put out to deal with that intelligence sharing dilemma, and it changed a number of names, but right after 9/11, it was called the Intelligence Community Multi-Acquisition Program, to try to share that information across multiple different intelligence sources. So, you know, when we're talking about this as a problem, the way that that data is actually collected and then how it's disseminated is really, really weird in the United States. Unless there's a specific military objective or there's something that comes directly from the White House, all of a sudden that shit happens really, really, really fast. But it only is whenever the attention span is on like very specific high people in the government that have a specific mission objective that they're trying to achieve.
So, okay.
I have one comment.
Go ahead.
I feel like the public statement like that was made by the president-elect is really, it appears to be aimed at just shaking the bushes of the worldwide intelligence community and see what rattles. That's what it feels like to me.
Okay, so I have a couple takes on this. Number one is Belouv's hilarious comment that the people who make the APT list won't put themselves on them.
Well, yeah.
Alex, please elaborate.
Because if you ask different countries, because like the U.S. isn't on an APT list, you're like the U.S. isn't a threat.
On MITRE's list of APT actors.
We may be.
Let me check.
What is our animal? Is it an eagle? Are we Eagle Typhoon? What's going on?
Yeah, but I think if you ask like the source country, because like if you ask China if they do hacking, they're going to be like, no, we don't do hacking. Here's a list of all the U.S. companies that do it. Here's a list of all like the, Germans that do it. Here's the list of all these other countries that do it. If you ask Germany if they do
called
hacking,
out by other countries.
No, you'll be called out by other countries.
They're not. The NSA.
That's what I'm saying. They're not doing it. I mean, that's exactly where I was going with this. So in the U.S., there's a public news article that says Chinese threat actors are in our ISPs. Joff's right about the political thing. Like, I mean, Joe Biden literally went to Russia and was like, hey, can you guys stop ransomwaring us, please? And he was like, respectfully decline, comrade. But basically, like that's being played on the political spectrum of like, hey, can you guys stop hacking us? Why is no one coming to the U.S. and saying, hey, can you stop hacking us? Like,
they are.
or are they? And we're just like not
Corey,
publishing
there are
it.
news
Like
stories. I read one earlier today where China was basically accusing the NSA of breaking into one of their networks. So those stories do exist, right?
Recently?
Oh yeah,
like literally
there was one
within
like
this week. Let's see if I can find it.
There was one like 3 or 4 months ago where they had exactly that. I think the big difference though is what China does with it. I'm just picking China here versus what we do with it. Like they'll take it, immediately monetize it, where we'll take it and just, like John said, sit on it. And they're like, yeah, they're taking our data. What are they doing with it? Analyzing it. Like it's not an interesting news story.
Right. Yeah.
So
I get that.
the equation group is
Hold
on
on.
Lighter Attack.
Yeah, and when
Yes, but that's that's
But
fair.
but
There are
I'm going to tell you
historically-
from an intelligence standpoint, there is no good data in there.
Yeah. So here's one. China is accusing the United States of fabricating Volt Typhoon to hide its own hacking campaigns.
So we hacked the ISPs. I mean, that would
That's
be
a good
Corey,
checkout
we
line
hacked
story.
the ISPs, which I think this is great.
No,
Because
we
it's
subpoenaed the ISPs. It's a different word.
No. If you go to like the telco providers, like if you go to New York, you go downtown for like Verizon's data center, AT&T's data center, a lot of the major ISPs in the United States have SCIFs in the middle of their main ISP facilities that you have to go up and you have to badge and you have to get into. So I would think it's funny if like the NSA is like, yeah, we hacked this network, which we already had a SCIF, which we already had taps to absolutely everything.
Okay, fair.
That's insane.
The FBI and CISA just came out last week and advised businesses to start using end-to-end encryption messaging over email, which is not going to happen ever. But like, I mean, they're out there. So I mean, if the federal law enforcement and federal SecOps is trying to advise people to use, encrypted messaging because of this Chinese telecom situation, they'd be shooting themselves in their own foot if like that was the game, right? So. I agree. I agree with you 100%. I didn't know they had SCIFs in the data centers though.
No, they do, and it's specifically why they're there, and it depends on the law enforcement agency that you're working with. It makes sense because there's FISA warrants, right? And if any of those communications leave the United States and it's someone that they're communicating with a person of interest on the other side, you can get a FISA warrant. Let's not get into that too much, but you can get a FISA warrant and that data immediately has to get dropped into a SCIF or it has to get pulled off. So if you think about it, it starts to make sense why we have SCIFs in these telco. Little bit, I can't speak to the FBI because I haven't done much on that side of it, but I'm assuming the FBI has similar type capabilities whenever they have warrants that need to be executed to get certain data sets, that they have those facilities to be able to process that as well.
Okay, so I'm like confused here. So the FBI has access to everything, and why would they publish that? That's to me, Jerry's point. That's basically proof that China's actually in the ISPs,
yeah, that's
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like it's
first
bad.
they
It's bad. Yeah.
I want to clarify, they don't. They can request it from the ISPs, but the FBI just can't sit there willy-nilly and be like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start intercepting Alex's communications. You have to have a warrant. You have to actually have that exercised appropriately by the ISPs that are out there.
Right. Whereas China is doing that.
Well, China,
arguably.
which, you know what, maybe that's what's going on, is the United States allowed China to hack into our networks because once that data leaves our networks and China steals it and it goes over to China, we're hacking China so we can get that intelligence without having to get a warrant on that data. Because once it's there, we don't need to get a warrant for it because China's going to, they've already hacked it for us. So there's a conspiracy wrapped in a conspiracy.
That makes perfect sense.
It's like a turducken of a conspiracy.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Does Krispy Kreme have a little light they turn on that when they get hacked that says recently compromised? No.
Fresh and hot.
Great.
That's
Fresh and hot compromised.
No, fresh, hot, and discounted.
Why is this light blinking, Tim?
Krispy Kreme's just a manufacturer, right? I mean, manufacturers get hit. They manufacture donuts. Knock them out, you know? I mean, their donuts are ridiculously sweet, but, you know.
I think it's more insidious than that. They're really trying to demoralize America right before Christmas and our big consumer season.
No. Hold on, Kelly. If they were going to do that, they would take down Domino's Pizza, which we know is the intelligence backbone of America. If they're ordering, if Washington D.C. can't order pizzas, then we know the entire country grinds to a halt.
Well, what about that maybe a coordinated attack on all three, right? Take down Krispy Kreme, Domino's, and Starbucks at the same time.
And
Oh my God! Why did you mention Grosh?
Why are you helping evil people do evil things?
You just upped the threat model. Space Force is going to kick down your door and say, "Why'd you just leak this?"
But okay, so
I mean, John pays me to think evil thoughts.
Let's be honest. Last week's show sucked. I thought it was a great show from the perspective of a lot of different things. But last week's show,
thanks, John.
Last week's show was like, everything sucks. It's all burning down. Computer security is a myth. F you. We're going away. It was a bad show.
All right.
You were definitely putting off that energy.
So only positive articles then?
No. But I want to bring
the chicken
it up
article.
we were talking about there's no financial impact to companies that get compromised. And they're like, there's going to be a 2% hit on stock price. I don't know where they're at now. Let me open that up. But this also gets into something that we talked about like last week, where you don't see a financial impact to these companies getting compromised. Is this just another example of like how that holds true? Like a hack happens and like stock dips 1% for a day or two, and then it's back up 5%.
I think for a company like Krispy Kreme, what sensitive information could they possibly have? Like whoever ordered the most donuts, like
the secret recipe.
To John's point, though, like
credit cards and the standard financial stuff.
Standard financial stuff and the secret recipe.
That's all end-to-end encrypted, says the security administrator, Kat. You don't need to worry about that. VeriSign took care of that.
Yeah, but okay, so go back to John's point. Like, what's the biggest cybersecurity related event of the entire year? Right? Without question, it was the blue screen of death with CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike.
Oh yeah.
They're back above the previous stock price. Like,
are they really? They made it all the way back.
And now they're ahead of what they were.
Well, I think that just shows you just how myopic and short memory people are. I mean, they're just like, what's next week's news is going to be something else, and they just move on.
And I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. I thought they would miss Q4 projections, and then it would come back next year. But
we could have made a lot of money.
I would agree with that, honestly.
How much of this is incident fatigue? I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a breach was a big deal because it wasn't happening all the time, or if it wasn't getting anywhere near as much PR. Now, every time you open a stream, a magazine, newspaper, whatever your preferred mode of news assimilation is, you're going to see at least 3 to 10 mentions of a breach by someone against someone.
It wasn't a breach. It was a cybersecurity incident.
So one of our listeners made the comment. Can't never would just made the comment we should give out awards. So if we have BHIS Breach of the Year award, that would be
we should.
InfoSec
there wasn't a breach. They do not accept.
The ponies.
Jerry, what were you gonna say, Jerry?
It is the ponies.
I mean, I put it in chat. I'm fully on board with this tribe's idea that the stocks bounce back. Like Target set the tone, and then it took 3 years, and then there was like shorter periods of time between the waves of when you would recover. But with CrowdStrike, it was like a developer issue, and it sucked obviously, but it was like a normal engineering issue. SolarWinds, maybe I'm cherry picking a black swan event, but SolarWinds never fully recovered their value, and they were penetrated super deep. It was a Russian target. It was deliberate mission, and so it's not always the case. Again, I hate to I don't know if I'm cherry picking or not. I don't have a big enough data set to say, but it isn't always the case. And I know specifically because I was like, when SolarWinds happened, I'm like, all right, finally, I'm jumping on this get rich quick scheme, and it's like I know.
Yeah, but
here's the wrong horse.
Just for the record, if you would have done that with CrowdStrike, here, can someone post this up?
Yeah, if you'd shorted CrowdStrike for those 2 days.
If you went into CrowdStrike, Ryan's going to share this here in a second. And I think that this really articulates it. So I just posted the link.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a Bitcoin.
Now, switch it over to 1 year.
It looks like a Bitcoin.
There you go.
That's real
interesting, isn't it? So if you're looking at it at its peak, it was about 389. And today they closed at 392. Today they're at 388.
Yeah,
That's
fully
close to
recovered.
their all-time high. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're like, seriously, Jerry, if you were playing that game of selling them, like right at the bottom, you would have made out like a freaking bandit.
Oh yeah.
I think this is just survivorship bias a little bit of like the companies, like, we talk about companies a lot that get breached on the show, and how many of them actually end up surviving. I don't know. Maybe not huge publicly traded companies, which are just big enough to make it through almost anything. But
Well, yeah.
I mean, I think if okay, here's a great pitch. Are you a current intern, or are you looking for an internship? Maybe email us and say, I want to do research on the public impacts of breaches. And like, if you're a grad student, make that happen for yourself. Publish a paper about it. Like, someone needs to research this and like look at like the impacts of different types of breaches on different companies, whether they're publicly traded, private, how much is covered up, SolarWinds. Like, it could be super interesting to see like a meta-analysis of all the data, all that.
I mentioned that in chat because I swear somebody had done that built a portfolio just kind of tracking, like, if you bought like post breach, like this company had announced a breach, you buy right away, and that's your portfolio. That they built that portfolio or simulated that, and they're like, yeah, you would just make piles of money doing that. I thought somebody did that. People in chat are like, that's fascinating, so you should research that. And I'm like, I thought somebody did, but if not, that'd be an excellent thing to check out.
It'd be even better if they published the average percentage downturn, because then you could just pick the top cybersecurity companies in the industry, set up your buys on the downturn, and wait till it triggers, and it's automatic trade.
All right,
Can
let's
I
talk
add
about
something to the
Cylance.
conversation?
Oh, Kelly,
Just one
go.
more quick thing here. Let me just remind everyone here, gently, of course, that we're talking about material impact, and that's really what's reflected in the stock price. And we really didn't evaluate material impact until the SEC started asking us to disclose that. So we're dealing with, can I say, baby data? We really don't know.
No, agreed.
Although one thing that we do know, though, and 12RZA posted it a while ago, is that the small and medium-sized companies that have any type of an incident, especially a breach, 60-something% of them go under, usually within a year.
Yep.
So this is where we're getting a disparity. The incidents that make the big headlines are usually large multinational conglomerates, but the vast majority of the real incidents are on much smaller players who aren't going to get the press.
So Bronwyn, I kind of want to like pick on that just a little bit. So do you think that we're honestly looking at things in terms of first nation, first world, second world, and third world infosec, where if you're a Fortune 100 company, you're going to weather it, right? You're going to make it through. If you're a small mom and pop, you're in that third world country status. You ain't going to survive it.
I'd say that's a fair analogy. I mean, it certainly matches the behaviors and what happens, because
You could probably even put them into market capitalization buckets, and
yeah. I mean, I've seen small mom and pop organizations, and they don't have the bandwidth, they don't have the resources, they don't have the expertise to be able to do anything other than trust that their ISP is somehow going to have the appropriate filters. That's what they're paying for the AI network protection for. They don't have an understanding, and they're never going to have the resources because they're resource poor.
thank
Whereas
God it's 2 minutes past
Kreme,
5.
they
I
have
think it's
more
just-
resources.
I think you're spot on. I mean, like the small business, let's say a big company, giant company, this isn't even good numbers, loses 10% of revenue to an incident versus a small mom and pop, right? Giant company, they lose money all the time. Like, I'm amazed that Twitter was able to lose billions for years and to keep on chugging, right? Whereas a small mom and pop, they don't have infinite money glitch to fix that. So
That's called venture capital.
100%. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go to something fun.
Let's talk about
and
Cylance.
light. Huh?
So, John, are you going to make Cylance? Is someone going to make Cylance great again? Is that going to happen?
So good night, Joff. Silent. So
Joff
okay,
can't handle
so-
that. I shouldn't
God,
have said
how
that.
do I? So BlackBerry is going to sell Cylance to Arctic Wolf.
Oh,
What?
Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, no vendor bashing. Okay, now does anyone have
Yeah,
anything
like,
nice to
like
say?
Corey
Does anyone
jumped
have anything nice
immediately.
to say?
Hey now, hey, keep it cordial.
Joff, do not unleash.
But
What does
feel,
BlackBerry have
Feel
left?
free to rip on BlackBerry. What the
They
hell?
have
is
BlackBerry Messenger,
doing?
dude. That's what FBI still uses.
BlackBerry. That was like the first messenger that had read receipts, and my managers used to make me install it so they could see when I read their messages.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Awful.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
it's like I.
All I can think of is the weird beers that arrived at John's.
Oh my god.
That's right.
I didn't. I think I can. I think I can find those beers.
Don't worry,
but-
they're getting acquired, so it's safe
So-
now.
So we had that thing with Cylance. I think it was in 2017 where I was trying to get sued by Cylance.
We should have acquired them. Let's be honest. No, okay, sorry.
Probably, you know what? We might have that option. But it didn't work out. They didn't sue us, but they wanted to.
That was the
But they
cash cow
realized
thing,
that if
right?
someone is super excited about being sued, it's probably a trap, which it was. But after that whole entire thing went down, all of a sudden I received this case full of beer. And it was like Dark Abbey Brewing, I think was the name of the company. I can't remember. Lost Abbey.
Volt
Lost
Typhoon
Abbey.
Brewing.
Lost Abbey.
Yeah, Lost Abbey is a beer company.
Let me see if I can go to their website. But
John's
their
like, hold
beers-
on, I didn't drink it, but I remember I had it.
So they had these beers, and it was like Judgment Day was one of the beers. What was the other one?
It's all like apocalypse themed beers.
Oh, it totally
Yeah.
was.
There was
like that
Judgment
Death
Day. There
Water
was a
company.
Liar beer. I can't remember, but they looks like they have different beers now. But like if you looked at like like Lying Bastard Ale, I think was one of them. Joff, I'm not sure.
That's actually pretty
Yeah.
good stuff.
John called me, and I just remember John saying,
I'm like, this is your beer.
John's like, I think they're trying to tell us something, John.
Yeah.
So,
So-
do you think that's what Arctic Wolf paid for? Is just they just sent some beers over to
Maybe they
HQ?
did. Maybe they did. But it was we actually had a fantastic meeting with them. We'll get into the details, but it was a good meeting. But boy, have we what other security companies have fallen as far as Cylance? Like Cylance rocketed in ransomware, and you saw them everywhere. And it just seems like CrowdStrike and Defender just destroyed Cylance. Maybe Sentinel.
I think
One
they
is
had
in
some brain drain. I don't know. Does
no,
anyone
they
know the
absolutely
full
did.
history? Because I feel like they were really good. Then all the cash cow tipping happened. Then they kind of recovered from that. Then they had like bad brain drain, and I think they've never really recovered. Then they got acquired by BlackBerry, tried to recover, and now apparently BlackBerry is selling it to Arctic Wolf. I mean, I feel like the moral of the story here is congrats Arctic Wolf on being big enough to acquire an EDR. That's pretty cool, right? Like that's a big deal.
And it's good. It's good thing for Arctic Wolf, right?
Our fun times with them happened to intersect with a period of time they were about to go public, which we didn't know.
what do you mean? What do you mean we, Choff?
I mean, I
who's
didn't.
this we you speak of?
Wait, hold
Which
on.
is
So
good that you didn't know that because that would have been insider trading.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a SOC
Hey, can we
vendor and
talk-
you use Cylance, do you swap it? Because now you've got a competitor who'd be like, well, we could integrate with Cylance better because we own them.
Yeah.
Like, is
Well,
it
What did
end up-
Kaspersky switch into?
not
That's what you would
helping?
switch to.
Really, Arctic Wolf is going after that S1 market, the Sentinel-1 market, really. Because you don't see I know someone from Arctic Wolf is going to get pissed, but you don't see Arctic Wolf in like the very large corporations or the corporations that want best of breed. Like they're very much a cost-conscious vendor in this space. And Sentinel-1 in the SMB space has just crushed it. Huntress, I think, has come up quite a bit. But seriously, that's where Arctic Wolf, that's where they play. And Sentinel-1 is an EDR, and Huntress has their own product and things like that. But holy hell, if you're Arctic Wolf and you can keep the price point that they've been at, and you're running Cylance. But honestly, when's the last time we saw Cylance in a test, guys? We saw it all the time, constantly, and then it was just overnight. It's like CrowdStrike everywhere. So I don't know if they're running at the same quality that they were back in the day. And I would check the MITRE evaluations, but screw that. I don't trust anything from them. It's just, once again, I think it's a great acquisition for Arctic Wolf, but you're right. What Arctic Wolf is going to do is going to push people to using Cylance as their EDR. And it further makes sense because a lot of different MSSPs or SOCs, they have to buy another EDR, and they're paying for that EDR to deploy on their customers. So really, it's going to make Arctic Wolf's position in the market much, much, much more strong if they can provide the EDR and the SOC services on top of it.
So can I just comment really quickly? Like something that I had to fact check before I did this, something that blows my mind. Arctic Wolf is acquiring it for $160 million, which is not, cheap, right? That would be life altering for everybody.
But it's not what you think it would be.
Well, but BlackBerry bought Cylance in 2019 for $1.4 billion. So somebody is absolutely taking a bath on this. I mean, like 5 years ago, they spent $1.4 billion, and now it's on like the front lawn at a yard sale, and they're like, what do you, 160, you'll take it. Just, back your pickup up, I'll help you load it. Like, it's crazy to me how discounted it is. I didn't do the math. It's like 80% or whatever. It's insane. It's probably more than that.
See, this is the dark side of like VC funding and stuff. Like everyone's like, oh, well, someone made $1 billion off of CrowdStrike or whatever. They just lost like let's just round up $1 billion.
Yeah.
And
no, round down.
The stock, no, the
round
stock
down.
Yeah, 1.2 billion. Yeah.
It was about 200 mil because the stock was worth about 60
Was
mil.
it? So, okay. So they lost
5.5 million shares of Arctic Wolf at $8 a share.
So what's left at BlackBerry now?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was like their big play to like reinvent themselves, was to be like cyber, right? I mean, I don't know. I actually saw like on a stalking stuffer list, there's an attachment you can get for your iPhone now that puts a QWERTY keyboard on it. Like, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but it plugs into the USB-C, and you can get a BlackBerry keyboard now.
I would totally go back to BlackBerry devices.
Well,
I swear.
I don't know what the stat is, but like the ECC crypto, my understanding is, maybe this is old, BlackBerry owns that. So like they got the patents and stuff like that. So I'm trying to remember the exact details on some of those pieces, but that's not exactly the cheapest. I need a Gerald to fact check for me.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pull it up. I saw it in like maybe it was like on Temu or something where they don't give a damn about rules. But let me give me a second, Tim. I'll see what I can pull.
Yeah, I have no idea what.
Oh, it
BlackBerry's
expired like a
days.
decade ago. Not quite, but okay.
I'm reading their wiki now, and I still have no idea what they're doing these days.
That's
It
all
looks
right.
Like they're just acquiring companies and selling them at a great loss.
Well, to quote Elon Musk, patents are for the weak. So
Patents are for the weak. Yeah, BlackBerry owns a bunch of IP. It's kind of like Nokia. Like everyone's like, Nokia's dead. Nope. They're making a ton of money off their patents. Like they're doing just fine, which is a weird business model as well. Was BlackBerry in the auto industry? I'm not sure.
God, I hope not.
In the what industry? Auto.
Cars.
Oh.
I don't recall that.
I really like that keyboard.
There you go, Tim. I dropped it in private chat. I mean, this is a Wired article. It's the whole case. It connects in.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let's talk about this takedown of a DDoS
There we go.
botnet. That's an
Yes.
uplifting article.
Jerry just fished us. I clicked on it immediately.
Oh yeah. Excellent. Just put your creds in, Joff. It'll be fine.
All right, man. Thanks.
So this is Ryan will find the article for us, but takedown of a DDoS-for-hire provider by Europol, which is, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, that's just an uplifting thing for everyone, right? Grandma's computer gets removed from a botnet. Number one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, you should have been hitting buttons earlier.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Okay, you guys lost me. What are we talking about?
DDoS takedown. So Ryan will find the article.
Europol.
He's good at that. I see him here in the
Did somebody spell that for me?
DDoS.
No, so DDoS, I will say, has become kind of like just the default way of getting hacked, it seems like. If anyone's stuff goes down, they just assume it's a DDoS. So, yeah. I mean, it's just a normal takedown of a DDoS network, but it says they have 2 people that are being 4 suspects between the age of 22 and 26. And it was up to 15 countries law enforcement involved. There's 300 users on this site, so 300 people were paying to DDoS other people.
I love it. I want to like pants off, baby oil, Interpol, Europol. I love this international cross collaboration. The United States just worked with Slovakians to take down a bunch of people. It like just raiding all over the place. People need to be worried about it, dude. People in Eastern Europe are just operating carte blanche, and it's like enough. We're done. We're done.
I just want everyone to know that I too am very happy, but I'm happy in a way where I keep my pants on and
I'm gonna keep
no baby oil is involved.
No baby oil.
You don't know how to party? Sounds like you need to learn how to party.
That was a good rant, though.
For later.
But this is why Gerald wins. This is
Those
why
are
he
2
wins keys.
independent thoughts. Those are 2 independent thoughts. You got to be able to like move quickly. Like it's just so exciting that you want to like party. It's so.
Well, if
baby
someone's
oil
trying to
and a
grab
waterbed.
you and you're covered in baby oil, it's going to be hard. So that's good.
We need the rant awards because that was pretty good.
I'm feeling every one of those. I'm over 50 years right now.
That's because you aren't using enough baby oil.
I'm amazed
Really
that
good
DDoS
work,
thing still
Jaffa.
exists. Like, doesn't everybody use Cloudflare? Like Cloudflare is the internet these days. Doesn't everybody run it through there? Like, I just, it's weird. Like,
Yes, definitely.
2004
Everyone
wants
is
their
using
halfback.
Cloudflare, including redsiege.com.
Well, and I know that we're talking about this, but another interesting thing, because we mentioned it earlier about how Russia doesn't necessarily do anything to Eastern European threat actors. Russia just took down, I think his name was Wazawaka or Waka Waka, kind of like Fozzie Bear type thing. And he was like a prolific ransomware threat actor operating with kind of different actors. So like everybody's getting in on it. Although I suspect that guy didn't play.
Did
play
he fall
nice
out a
with
window?
Russia.
Did he fall out a second-story window?
Well, he's been arrested. He may have had an update to his
Did.
current health.
He fell out twice. It was scary. He didn't learn the first time.
Yeah. So I just love it. I love the cross collaboration because I don't know if you guys have ever read or listened to the audiobook of Andy Greenberg's Tracers in the Dark, where he talks about cryptocurrency. It's a phenomenal book if you get a chance. But he covers Alphabay and he covers Silk Road. And when you read the Alphabay story, and it took the takedown was in Thailand, but it was the IRS and the Department of Justice. Like when you're dealing with all these different entities, there's a lot of like territorial pissings and a lot of like flexing on each other and who has the right to do what and sharing. And
I have no idea, Jerry. Tell us more. What do you mean? The government.
So seeing what they do now, it's just I love. I don't know if people are just collectively fed up with threat actors doing what they're doing, but the collaboration and integration, it's just awesome. It's like they're all in the same Slack channel and they're able to like quickly pivot and move. It's phenomenal.
But that's so rare. And I think that when it does happen, like you said, it's something to celebrate, but it's always for like a specific thing, right? It's not like continuous collaboration where they're keeping those modes of communication open with each other constantly. And going back to what I was talking about with the intelligence community and kind of a different approach, it's like same problem, right? And I think a lot of it boils down to like whose iron rice bowl is it? Who's going to get credit for this? And it's great whenever organizations get together and they put those egos aside and they just focus on getting things done.
Yeah, I hope it's the beginning of a trend. We'll start trending in the right direction.
Yeah. Got Looming Tower is another good book about agencies not working together. Yes, I know that one well. So, do we have a last story for the week to close out?
I mean, all my stories are just bad jokes about data breaches. I was going to joke that, it's a positive story that there was a senior dating website that had 765,000 users breached. I mean, kudos to the old people for getting out there. That's good for them. Like the fact that there's near 1 million users on a senior focused dating site, like that is a sign of the times.
And just for the record, my name is not in the data.
It's 40 and older. So all of us might be on there.
And
Corey,
all of those people
you
now
would
have
be
LifeLock for life.
It is funny that like it is kind of such a like visual into the person who wrote this article calling it a senior dating website. It's just 40 and over. Like
Oh no!
Oh my god.
That tells you what the average age of a threat actor is. It's-
Okay,
What
that
the
hurts. now I'm offended.
Damn kids these days.
But the website was just ladies.com, which I love that too. That's such a good name for a dating
Actually,
website.
are you
This
sure it's a
sounds like-
dating site? That
this
sounds
sounds
a
like
bit
the-
skeevy.
This
Like
is like the biggest catfish site of all time.
that's
You got
what I'm
old
saying,
people,
right?
and
No,
it's
no,
like
no. The
ladies.com.
word ladies, listen, the word ladies is untarnished, okay? That is a classy word.
Yeah. So, as a 46-year-old man,
Bless your heart.
what the hell, man? What the hell?
Oh my god, the website's so bad.
I will say though, if you grade on a curve based on who's in the dating pool, it is kind of like it makes sense.
I like Michael Robertson's. You mean Facebook got breached? Oh, oh. That comment hits hard.
Oh yeah,
right?
my daughter tells me Facebook's for old people all the time.
Yeah, she's like, Facebook sucks. No one likes Facebook. Here, check out Instagram. It's so awesome.
It's so different. It's definitely
you
not
gotta
the
get
same.
some TikTok in your life, Dad.
Oh, by the way, did we talk about? I know, like follow up. I know, but like apparently, did we talk about this? They actually sanctioned a Chinese company. The U.S. Treasury did for the whole like ISB stuff. I don't know if we covered that. But
Yes.
it seems that's kind of a big deal in my opinion.
What was the company? And
It was called Sichuan Cylance, which I do love some
Oh,
Sichuan
yeah,
peppercorns.
good name.
Were they all about numbing the network?
Now, I can't remember the article that was talking about the Chinese hacking groups where there are legit, quote unquote, like pen testing style companies.
Man, I'm
And
hungry now.
they basically get roped into doing cyber offensive operations for the Chinese government. And I'd have to find that article again.
Yeah,
but,
I guess I'm just like I'm still thinking back to like why are no U.S. companies being sanctioned by?
and I think a lot of it that people don't understand is that there's very little like daylight between corporations in China and the Chinese government.
Yeah.
Like it's not like yeah, at any point any of these Chinese organizations can be leveraged. So I could totally see why they're sanctioning this specific company.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very, very strong possibility that they're actually involved directly in the attacks. But yeah, their government and their corporate infrastructures are pretty much the same thing. They're very much tied into each other.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I
I just
love-
thought that
I
was
love
we talked about
Seraph.
it, so I thought it was an interesting follow up.
I love how they had that. Can you put that picture back up? How they had they had the picture of one of the hackers. Seraph just had a quote. It was basically like every time they talk about some hacking criminal mastermind, it always is some like 21-year-old scrawny kid or 19-year-old scrawny kid.
How did they find him? Probably from ladies.com. For being
Probably on ladies.com. Here's a quote from Seraph.
he has certain taste.
It really wasn't a joke. It's always great to see the news. Criminal mastermind caught, and it's a picture of the scrawniest 19-year-old you've ever seen is the person that
Well,
does the thing.
They don't
So,
have a life yet, so of course it's a scrawny teenagers.
yeah. They
Are you
haven't
telling me
learned
that people without fully developed brains tend to make bad decisions sometimes?
anything. Really?
Yeah, never.
Does that ever
weird.
get better? I need to know.
Have a life now that at 47? What?
Let me get
It's like
back.
Tim. It's like Tim.
things
Whenever
do
we
get
have people that are young and impressionable, they're like, "I want to start a pen testing company." And I think Tim's giving the same advice I gave years ago. First thing is, don't. You know,
That was John's opening line. It was like, hey, I'm starting about.
Wave
he's like,
off.
don't.
Wave off.
But you're not going to listen, so
here you go.
Oh.
So, here's all our templates and everything.
Yep.
So,
100%.
oh.
So, okay, if we have a few minutes left, let's talk about some other notable events that happened because this is going to be our last show for 2024. We're not going to be back
Yep.
until 2025. So, what else happened? CrowdStroke happened.
Yep.
Jerry won the Difference Maker Award. Congrats.
Woo!
What else happened in 2024? I can't remember.
The National Data Brokers
Something about
breach.
snowflakes.
Oh yeah, Snowflake happened. That was a
Yep.
big deal. We're still seeing the fallout from that. I talked about InfoStealers 4,274 times.
I ranted. I ranted at least twice. I remember.
Only twice? No, you made more.
That's all I
rants
can
than that.
remember.
he ranted twice a
Now,
day.
for everyone,
Wade
everyone
gave an
that
awesome
says-
keynote
everyone
at
s-
Wild West.
I want
That
to. I
happened.
want to clarify something. Every time that someone says that Jerry won, you're wrong. Jerry earned it.
Thank you.
And there's a difference between those two things. So,
That's very kind of
No.
you, John. Yeah.
but
It was good. It was good. You know what was weird about 2024? I don't know if anyone else had a hot take on this, but it seemed like in the first half of the year, like mortgage companies were getting hit. Like there were
it was big.
like
Yeah.
multiple mortgage companies, and I was thinking like, what? Why? Like, you know, I could get like law firms or tax accountants and stuff like that because of the client base, but mortgage companies just seemed like odd, and then it just stopped. Like I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like they stopped. So I don't know if anyone had like a hot take on the motivation behind that.
I think people are just pissed off on interest rates.
There you go.
We're gonna go hack them.
Deny, defend something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not
That's a
necessarily.
different industry. That you're talking about the healthcare industry, which is definitely heavily targeted in 2024.
Yeah.
The Change Healthcare thing happened this year. That was big, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
or was that this year? Or was I don't even know when that was.
Don't forget, move it.
Move
That
it.
was that was 2021.
Well, that kept
Our-
lingering, and
Our
Yeah, Move It
election
was
wasn't stolen.
23, right? That was the Progress one with Clop ransomware.
yeah.
Yeah, that
that
was
2023?
23.
2023.
So
last
can
year.
you all start prepping for the show where we come back in 2025? And instead of predictions, I hate infosec predictions episodes. They just
AI.
because it's always it's AI. Oh,
ChatGPT,
phishing.
that is true. AI was a big thing.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
Neck.
But here's what
I
I want
have
you
a
all to do.
prediction
We're
for
not
AI.
we're not going to do predictions for 2025. I want us to predict what's going to be ignored and continue to be ignored in computer security. Like what are the
MFA
things
done.
like I could just throw some things out there. Cell phone security. Like gonna continue to ignore that shit as long as we
Using a
possibly
separate
can.
work browser.
But what other things in computer security have we ignored, and are we going to continue to ignore moving forward? So, what are the things we're not talking about
MFA.
in computer security? So that's your homework, everybody. So while you're drinking that eggnog,
Give me homework.
Can I say
He's a
GRC?
mute, Clark. Yep,
yeah,
go ahead.
GRC, absolutely, Kelly. That's evergreen. Like everyone ignores GRC. It's just.
We're making it cool. Kelly and I are like pushing it to the front of
it's
the
you
room.
guys, and then we got
We're
the
trying.
shirts and the hats from Zach. Like, we're trying to make it cool because
Maybe-
we always talk about how security is a continuous process, and then promptly shit on GRC people, right? It's like, oh, it's a process. Yeah, you got to do it. It's not. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Hey, screw the guys over in GRC that are literally, I don't know, lubing up for a sprint or lubing up for a marathon.
I feel I have so much hat FOMO right now.
We'll get the
No.
GRC Mafia fully engaged right now. Kelly,
Hey,
By the way, you can totally get these Run
Kelly
GRC
has-
hats at Spearfish General Store. Check them out at Spearfish General Store. The preferred hat by the winner of the Difference Makers Award,
Nice.
Jerry Auger.
I think I've helped Kelly enough in recent history that I deserve one of those hats now. Can
Oh, I agree.
I would agree with that. Usually I'd be like, I don't know, Joff, but after the past couple of weeks, I say you've earned that hat, sir.
I think I've earned that.
This
hat.
might surprise you, but here at Black Hills, we don't really gatekeep who wears the hats. We just let everyone do whatever they want.
Or the
What?
pants.
That is a revelation.
I'll wear my one of one hipster hat here. There we go.
Oh, I heard you
Nice.
paid good money for that.
Oh.
That
I
hat is
donated
no
to a
joke.
worthy cause
Oh.
for this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. So I got to send you, I got something for you. Just give me a second.
Is it a case of beer?
He's gonna go get it right now.
Okay, here's a prediction while John's gone, and we can do predictions while he's not here because he hates them. My prediction is 2025 will be the first year any company fails PCI compliance ever.
Ooh, I like that one.
So, Jerry, this is the first playtest set of the new Backdoors and Breaches expansion cards
Oh, right on. Cool.
for competitive. I was
Leaks.
going to, if offline, send me your address. I'm going to send this to you, and I think it would be really cool if we can, after we release the game, I'll sign them and stuff and send them to you. We can auction them off. But like, I would like to find something simply cyber, BHIS, Antisyphon. We find a good cause, and we'll auction these off
Oh, that'd be phenomenal,
to
John.
the highest bidder. But yeah, we got the new version of Backdoors and Breaches. We're play testing it tomorrow again. So
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Maybe we get them like framed up or something. Make it
we
like a
do
nice
that.
little-
I think it's like 6 pages of cards.
Yeah.
So we could do, I can sign them and like number them and everything. And we can do them as like 6 separate ones.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's phenomenal. Yeah, and definitely people would love that. So yeah, let's do it.
Also, I want to do a shout out before the end of the year. I can't remember the dude's name, But I found this really cool card game called Advanced Persistent Threat. You can get it at boardgamegeek.com. I think you can get it on Amazon as well. So please check this out. But it's basically using servers, software, malware, exploits, and 0 days to defend your network while you're trying to hack your friends. I saw it at Board Game Geek Conference in Dallas and talked to the author,
You
who
went
is a
there?
real hacker. Seriously, awesome dude. But you need things for people on Christmas for those other geeks. Go get Advanced Persistent Threat.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
hold on. You went to BGG Con?
Yeah.
I have gone a bunch of times. I didn't go this year.
No. So I was supposed to. I'll call you after this and tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
But-
Well, okay.
No, if you want to go,
I've gone a bunch of times. Yeah.
No, it's an awesome conference, and we're going to be renting booth space. It's stupid cheap, but we're going to be doing a booth, and we're going to be bringing games down there next year. So
Where's the location physical?
Dallas,
Okay.
It's by the airport, which is a weird spot, but
it worked for me.
it's in
Great
there.
for
Went in the
layovers.
morning.
Just go when you're
Went
laid
in in
over
the
there.
morning, and I came back at night. So,
Nice.
All right. Is it time
All right.
to see everyone in 2026?
My son wants a
Wait,
sucker. Can he have a
2027?
sucker?
What?
He
What
wants.
year is it? What is that?
is there a child attached to that arm?
He's over here.
Aw.
I thought he was holding a rubber chicken.
Oh,
Get over here.
All
G'day,
right,
g'day, little mate.
there we go.
Happy
All right,
holidays,
everybody.
Little Tim.
Let's wrap it up. And by the way, I do just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you. It's been a crazy year, and it's been a really, really great year. It's been a hard year, but I think it helps when we have community and we have communities that we can work with and groups that we can work with. And one of the things like I said, I won on my tombstone is his competitors were his best friends. And when I'm looking at Jerry, and you've got your own podcast that's been wildly successful, I'm looking at Tim and Red Siege and just everything that you guys do. I think it's an absolute honor to be able to hang out with people like you, and of course other people that we work with all the time and collaborate with, because the number one goal that we all have in mind is making security better and making everyone better. Because remember, at the end of the day, all of our problems in computer security can be solved through education. And always be looking for the people that are educating and training. And I'm just incredibly honored to be surrounded by the group of people at BHIS and the wider tribe of businesses that are making the world a better place. So I'll see you all in 2025. Take care, everybody.
Wave.